India and Pakistan, two countries that share a border, a history, a love of cricket so powerful it briefly brought peace to the region and, well, a lot of tension. Now I know what you're thinking. Another video about this, and you'd be right. There are probably enough YouTube explainers on this topic to stretch from Mumbai to Lahore and back. But, and this is a but so big it needs its own postcode, most of them lack a certain, how do you say, nuance. So, buckle up, butter your naan, and let's unpack this, shall we? Here are the top 10 facts you need to know about the India-Pakistan conflict, presented with the appropriate dose of cynicism and despair that any discussion about geopolitics requires. India and Pakistan, two neighboring countries, have been in conflict for decades. Here are the top 10 facts you need to know about this ongoing tension. 1947. A time of hope, of new beginnings, oh, who are we kidding? It was a bloody mess. The British, in their infinite wisdom, decided to leave India like a poorly divided cake at a children's party. Except instead of frosting, there was religious tension. And instead of sprinkles, there was mass displacement and violence. The result, two new nations, India and Pakistan, and a whole lot of baggage. If the India-Pakistan conflict were a rom-com, Kashmir would be the charming, frustratingly oblivious object of affection that both leads are fighting over. Both countries claim it in full, both control parts of it, and neither seems willing to compromise. Think of it as the world's most contested timeshare, except instead of disgruntled tourists you have, well, nuclear-armed nations. Imagine a border stretching across a mountain range manned by soldiers staring daggers at each other. No, this isn't a rejected script for a gritty war film. It's the line of control, or LOC. This heavily militarized zone is the stark reminder that while things might be tense elsewhere, in Kashmir, they're downright frosty, and occasionally explosively so. Chapter 4. War. What is it good for? Spoiler alert, not much. Since 1947, India and Pakistan have engaged in 3 major wars, all revolving around, you guessed it, Kashmir. It's like that couple who break up and get back together every few years only to realize they hate each other just as much as before. The only difference is that instead of passive-aggressive Facebook posts, you have tanks and fighter jets. Chapter 5, going nuclear, because nothing says we come in peace like an atomic bomb. Remember the Cold War when the US and the Soviet Union played a terrifying game of nuclear chicken? Well, India and Pakistan decided to get in on the act in 1998, becoming nuclear powers and instantly making South Asia the most stressful game of risk in the world. Look, I'm not saying it's a dick-measuring contest, but if it were, the rulers would be measured in kilotons. Chapter 6, Peace Talks, as effective as a screen door on a submarine. Over the years, there have been countless attempts at peace talks between India and Pakistan. The problem is they usually go something like this. India blames Pakistan, Pakistan blames India, both sides agree to disagree, and everyone goes home empty-handed. It's the diplomatic equivalent of watching paint dry, except with higher stakes and less chance of a satisfying conclusion. Chapter 7, Proxy Wars and Terrorism, fun for the whole family, except for, everyone. If direct conflict is too messy, why not outsource your aggression? Both India and Pakistan have been accused of supporting proxy wars and terrorist groups to advance their interests. It's like a geopolitical game of chess, except the pawns are actual people and the stakes are incredibly high. Imagine how much good could be done if the billions of dollars spent on weapons and military build-up were invested in education, healthcare, or, I don't know, literally anything else. The conflict has taken a massive toll on both economies, leaving millions trapped in poverty while their governments play a very expensive and dangerous game of one-upmanship. The United Nations has tried its hand at mediating the conflict, but with about as much success as a vegan trying to order a steak at a Texas BBQ joint. There have been resolutions, ceasefires, and strongly worded letters, but the core issues remain unresolved. It's a classic case of too little, too late, and frankly, nobody seems to be listening anyway. So where do things stand today? Well, the line of control is still there, both countries still have their nukes, and Kashmir is still stuck in the middle. It's a stalemate, but not the fun kind where nobody wins. This is the kind where everyone loses, especially the people caught in the crossfire. Look, I'm not going to pretend this video has all the answers. This isn't a TED Talk, it's a YouTube video hosted by a cartoon character. Understanding the complexities of this conflict, the historical baggage, the political maneuvering, and the human cost is crucial for any hope of lasting peace.